supportkind.org.
KCAA, where every day is a great day.
You just entered the Gotcha Zone. I line up to the start line and get ready to race with your host, Joe Britt. It's time for Gotcha Racing, live on KCAA 1050.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines and get ready for an action-packed, fun-filled hour of everything a motorhead ever loved or lived. Gotcha Racing with Joe Britt. Welcome to Gotcha Racing. This is Joe Britt.
Hey there, race fans. Welcome to another edition of Gotcha Racing with your host, Joe Britt. We're not in studio today. We're not in Studio B, and we're not in studio at the HQ, which is in Redlands. We are in Long Beach, California, and in Long Beach, we are at the state convention for the Democratic Party. A lot of you don't know, for the new listeners that are tuning in, I am an executive for the state party, for the Democratic Party in California, and we are having our convention. We have our convention for the executives here at the Western, actually. So I'll be here for the weekend, but nevertheless, you know what they say, one monkey don't stop a show, and we will not stop the show. It is going, and it's going quickly, and we're having a good time, and hopefully I can snag one of these politicians to come here and tell you what they are going to do for you, the listeners in California, and the listeners in my area, which is the IE, okay? But let me digress a little bit and give you my open. I come to you a humble man that is a reflection of God's grace and greatness, a humble man that is standing on shoulders of ancestors. Hello, America. Look alive, California. Wake up, San Bernardino. Stand up and be counted, for this is your host, Joe Britt, coming to you loud, clear, and strong from the desert to the sea, broadcasting on the powerful KCAA Talk Radio, 106.5 FM, 102.3 FM, and that old dog that just won't die, that's that 1050 AM on your AM dial. We have a great lineup today. Hopefully I can get those videos in, and our top board operator, engineer, Joe, hopefully he can do that for us with no problem. My times have changed from 11 to 12 noon, but we're still giving you, the great listeners of Gotcha Racing Live, Gotcha Racing TV, information that you can use, either on the race side, because we're all over the place, or on how to do it yourself in your particular car to get the maximum amount of speed, the maximum amount of coverage you can get out of that particular car that you own, okay? You know me, I don't like car payments, so if I can gear you to go get a car at the auction and fix it up and do what you have to do, that money's better in your pocket than the corporations, okay? And that's how I roll. I always give you good tips. All right, so a little house cleaning is in order. For those of you that would like to get with me, by radio, by TV, by number. The number is 720-835-3099. 720-835-3099. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the call-in number. Okay, I'm looking at this and looking at these politicians walking around. Hey, listen, that number I just gave to you, 720-835-3099, is just in case you have your smartphone, your cell phone, or your dumb phone, and you just want to listen, not comment, not call in, just listen. For those of you that want to call into the studio, here we go. That number is 909-792-5222. 909-792-5222. For you local, yeah, okay. We can be found on Facebook. We can be found under Gotcha Racing TV. We can be found under GRTV Media. We can be found under Joe Britt. We can be found under Gotcha Racing Live. But nevertheless, we come to you strong. We try to come to you every Saturday if possible. Even though our hours have changed, nevertheless, we are still trying to give you what we think you might need for your transportation and for your racing skills. I tell you, we have a lot of folks coming to us, and we have a lot of racers that are bona fide that I do know. I've been in this game for a long time, and we're kind of happy to bring them to you by way of Gotcha Racing TV and Gotcha Racing Live. So, somebody said, well, how does this work, Joe? Well, it works this way. We broadcast through an NBC affiliate, which is KCAA Radio. We've been around for about 14 years. What they're doing, they split the signal up to 3 different stations: 102.3 FM, 106.5 FM, and 1050 AM. And then what happens, once we're shooting live, what they would do is stream that into 190 countries. Okay? And then if you missed the show, you can always go to a podcast, which is located at KCAAradio.com. For those of you that are listening right now, if you want to see this broadcast of ours, I got a wall as a backdrop. I'm in the Western Hotel. But nevertheless, for those of you that want to see this, Tony, you can go to KCAAradio.com, and you can see our broadcast live and in living color. I'm trying to get one of the ex-speakers of the Democratic Party over here. Let's see if I can get it. If not, we will do what we do best. That's run our mouths and give you the information that we think that you might need to carry on your day and at the track. We have been very, very busy for the past couple of weeks. I mean, extremely busy. We've been at SEMA. We've been SEMA, and then we've got the Winter Nationals, which is the Pomona for the finals. And let's see, coming up will be the LA Auto Show, and that is it for the year. And then we start all over again in February, doing the same doggone deal we've done for 17 years. And wait a minute, folks, 1 minute. Live on air, you want to get on that talk? I got about 6,000 people listening. Okay. So, folks, I'm going to introduce you to this young lady here. Okay, Susan, right?
Susie Shannon.
Okay, Susie Shannon. Susie, where are you from?
I'm originally from Chicago, but now I live in Los Angeles.
Okay. What do you think about this blue wave that we have?
I think it's awesome. We've taken all of Orange County. I think that people, it's an indictment on the Trump administration, who have really declared war on people who live in poverty, who have declared war on people who are just trying to make a living, and it's basically been an indictment on their agenda. So I think it's great.
So you think with all the fight that we've done over the past year, we've been fighting very hard.
Yeah.
You think it's come to fruition, and you think we're the victors now?
Oh, we're absolutely the victors. That's not even a question. I think for California, especially, the Republican Party's packing their bags and getting out of here. So I think we're good there. I spent every Thursday night I ran road banks from Los Angeles into Orange County, into our swing districts, just so that we were just putting as much energy into those races as we possibly could. So I'm very excited. I'm really proud of our California Democratic Party for all the work that they did, for Eric Bauman, who's our chair, all the work that he did, all the work that our grassroots activists did, all the work of the people within the districts, the candidates that stepped up. It was just awesome to see. And really across, I'd say across the country too. So if you even look at Stacey Abrams in Georgia, who's running for governor, to have her not concede the election right away, to have her continuing to fight is what we need to see more and more from Democrats, I think.
That's right, and our motto is fight, right?
That's right. Yeah. Fight, advocate. Hopefully you will win too. But fighting and advocating for people is key.
I know you're busy. I'm busy. You're busy, and I caught you pulled you out of the crowd here. If you had any encouraging words to give to the young Dems that are coming into our process, what would it be?
So I would say Sophie Alford, who's 21 years old, just got elected to the Berkeley Rent Control Board. And he is brilliant. And we just see more young people stepping up to the plate, basically saying, I want to run, and I want to make sure my voice is in there and part of the process. And that the advice that I would give is, run, get involved, make sure that you're doing it for all the right reasons, which is to help people. So if you're not doing it for the right reasons, you're doing it for yourself. That eventually will catch up to you. But my advice would just be get involved in the process.
See, folks, and that's what we do as Democrats. We help one another, and we help the community at large.
That's right.
We're not in it for ourselves. And if you are, time will tell, and you just got to get out of Dodge because it's for the people. All right?
That's right. Exactly.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself. All right. And that's how we do it, folks. All right. So, getting back to the automotive side of things. And I was saying, we have done SEMA, and I had the full team out at SEMA. We did fairly well. We got retiring for 5 days. We were there, and I tell you, we worked our butts off. And the interviews you will see. The interviews I will have on, we're editing them down. We're trying to make them crisp and clean as possible. And then for the Winter Nationals, meaning that the finals for the NHRA in Pomona was a couple of weeks ago, we got some great interviews from there, and we got some pretty good racing too. We couldn't put them on at the same time because Fox owns, they have everything, and we're just a fly on the wall, but nevertheless, we're that persistent fly that just won't go anywhere. Right? We've been doing this since 2004, and thank God, we're still in the trenches, and we're still doing and fighting on your behalf. Okay, a couple of videos are coming up, and I tell you what, Joe, are we ready in HQ to put on any of the videos that we have? I'm just waiting for the engineer to tell me, yeah, we got something loaded up. We're ready to go for you, Joe. All right. So let's go and roll one of the first interview that I took. And roll that beam footage, Joe. Go ahead.
Watching Gotcha Racing TV. Yeah!
Hey there, racing fans. Gotcha Racing TV coming to you live from the LA Auto Show. Come take a ride with us as we tour the show. Man, oh man, we have a lot of things to show you. So come on in, sit down, buckle up, and hold on tight. All ready? Hey, Jimmy, go ahead and count us down. Hey, this is the Lexus Supercar LFA displayed here in full fashion at the LA Auto Show. Really gorgeous car. Look at the lines, the wheels, the interior is off the chain. You know, we saw this car at the SEMA show. Look at that exhaust, it's really nice. Okay. We saw this car at the SEMA show, and it was tucked way in the back. And the color that was displayed at SEMA was this particular black here, which wasn't too bad actually. But I tell you, that white, oh, it's okay. Can you hear? Now, we would have passed this car by if it hadn't been for somebody at Lexus to fire this puppy up and shut the gun and start it up. It sounded as if it was a cross between a Ferrari and a Lamborghini that was on steroids. Really, really beautiful sound. Is that better? Anyway, we have a guy here, one of our at Lexus, that's going to give you information about the car. His name is Bill Kwan. Hey, Bill, take it away.
Hi, my name is Bill Kwan. I'm with Lexus Product Communications. We're here at the LA Auto Show. What you're looking at here is the 2011 Lexus LFA Supercar. It's all new to help us to promote performance, styling, and technology. We're going to hand build 20 of these a month in our Motomachi plant in Japan. There will be 500 of them worldwide. We'll probably make about 150 available for the next 2 years from here to North America. The vehicle is made out of carbon fiber. Carbon fiber development in-house manufacturer. As you know, Toyota started as a loom company as manufacturing of fabric, so there's a lot of weaving involved, and we're actually weave the carbon fiber in-house. It has a 4.8 liter V10 that generates 552 horsepower, 354 pounds of torque, capable of speeds of 202 miles an hour and 0 to 60 in 6 seconds. It sits on 20-inch forged BBS alloy wheels, and this brakes disc is actually made out of carbon ceramic material. So very exotic material, a lot of titanium in the suspension components, carbon fiber on the car, carbon ceramic, so very exotic materials put together in this vehicle. The manufacturer's suggested retail price starts at $375,000, although really the only option is a navigation system. It's going to start production in December of next year as a 2011 model. So again, what you see behind me is the Lexus LFA Supercar here at LA Auto Show.
Why are you listening to this radio station? Why, when you can host your own radio show? You're listening and you think you can do better? You have a message or a product you want everyone to know about. Host your own radio show. Team up with the area's best radio professionals and let them make you sound like you should be on NBC. KCAA NBC Radio, that is. KCAA produces more than 50 local programs each week on subjects ranging from business and sports to political talk, vegan diets, or even marijuana-related issues. We don't just broadcast on the radio, we broadcast to the world. Online, on TV, on social media, on Facebook. You'll be all over. Imagine what your friends will say. And KCAA reaches over 5 million people on 3 radio stations. Join the staff on 1050 AM, 102.3 FM, and 106.5 FM. NBC Radio. Jump on the KCAA Express. Call 909-793-1065. That's 909-793-1065 and get ready to transmit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was trying to go to the Skype where I can change the settings on that.
I'm so tired of the buffering on my smartphone.
I'm so over it. Next.
Right? I am so over it. Next.
A radio? Next.
No buffering, just your favorite local radio station?
Next Radio uses the FM tuner that is already built into your phone, so you can listen to your favorite stations on the go. Because Next Radio uses the FM tuner already built into your smartphone, it saves on data and battery usage. When compared to streaming audio, Next Radio uses less than 1/10 of your data, and your battery will last 3 times longer. Next Radio, it's FM radio on your smartphone.
Introducing a radio inside your cell phone. Listen to all kinds of local radio stations, including KCAA 106.5 Yucaipa and 102.3 Riverside on Next Radio. Download the free Next Radio app today. 100% free, 100% fun, 0% buffering. Stop the buffer and listen to KCAA.
Okay. Okay, all right, folks. So we're still here. We're still doing what we need to get done here at the Western, and I guess the convention is about to let out. You know, I've already spoken with Betty Yee, which is our state controller. She handles our money for the state of California, a good friend of mine, and hopefully I can get her over. If not, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing and doing what we love to do, and it's run our mouths about business, run our mouths about the racing situation, how to do your car correctly. Now, you know what? I'll throw out a bone for you. If you have tires that are bald and tires that are not new, how do you gauge them to let? How do you gauge the tires to see if they are any good or not? Well, because the weather's coming up and it's going to be rainy, and no need for you to slip, no need for you to get involved in accidents. But here's an old school tip. Okay, this is the new penny that America has, which is, I guess it's copper free. It's not like the old one, right? So you get the top of Lincoln's head. See that? All right. So you get Lincoln's head, and you put it in the grooves of your tire. Okay. If your tire, the grooves do not come up to Lincoln's neck, all right? If it doesn't come that far up, then you need to change your tires. Point blank. Slippery, you will, when the rainy season, you won't have any traction. So that's the cheapest way in order for you to know if you need tires on top of the visual. Right? Most people can look at the tires and say, you know something? I think it's due for some tires. I think it's due for me to get 1 or 2 tires to put on. Okay, so you can either go two ways. You can either go to a local tire shop and find the best one you can, a used tire, or you can go up some money and go get a very expensive tire. But it all depends on you. And I always say this: do what money say do. Money says, hey, you can get a Continental tire for $170 and or a set of them, then you do it. If money says, look, we got other bills to do, let's go get us a $50 tire, then that's what you do. But nevertheless, safety should be one of your first concerns for the lifestyle that we live here in California. We drive every day in California, and the places are not that close together. So I encourage you, make sure do your tire maintenance. Make sure that you have enough tread on the tires so if you are in a difficult situation, you have traction that you can get out of, okay? Any situation. Without that traction, guess what? You're gonna hit and you might burn. So that's just a tip. That's one of the, I call those a nugget. One of the nuggets I like to give you. All right, so we're at the bottom of the hour. Hey, Joe, let's go ahead and put the next video on. And folks, I'm trying to wonder what, I think it was at the, it could be at Pomona. I think it's from Pomona. Go ahead and run that footage, Joe.
Hey, this is Joe Britt. Gotcha Racing Live, Gotcha Racing TV, and we are in Buena Park, and we are at Knoxbury Farm, and guess what? I have Mr. Whipple in front of me. Mr. Whipple in front of me with the twin screw supercharged, and I tell you, I showed you guys how some of the motors, what he has done to some of these Fords here, and I got him. I told you I was going to wait on him, and I did. Here we go. How you doing, brother?
Very good.
Tell me about what I'm looking at.
Well, we got a bunch of different of our Ford applications here, all the way from 11 to 14, all the way up to 2018.
Okay. I see that you're putting them in F-150s too.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about this beast here.
Yeah, so this is a 50-state legal kit. We have a Stage 1 and Stage 2. This makes about 600 to the rear tires in Stage 2, which is about 750 engine horsepower. Since it's 50-state legal, you see it's got a hydrocarbon trap inside the airbox. It's got a carbon fiber intake, 2.9-liter supercharger, runs about 11 psi of boost on 91 octane. We'll actually make a little bit more on 93 octane for the back east states. So it's an amazing kit. We sell a great amount of them, and they're easy to install. You can do it in your garage. And it's comes with a new flash tool, so you can flash it right in your garage.
Wait. I just heard something, and I don't miss that much.
Yep.
You said a kit and do it in your garage.
Yep. We sell with all the parts needed to bolt into the garage. So all the motors are all pre-made. They're all and covered, all quick connect fittings. There's no cutting, grinding, welding, drilling of any type. So it's all bolt on. So you can put it on, you can take it off. It doesn't matter.
Is that easy?
It's that easy. Yep.
No kidding. What do we have here?
So this is actually a GT350 right here. So this has got our 2.9-liter supercharger. It's a very similar kit to the F-150. A little bit more aggressive because it's a smaller car. The F-150 obviously you can tow. The Mustangs you don't typically tow with. So, yep.
Get it to your mouth. Let me work this thing here.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep, so this is the GT350. Makes about 800 turbo horsepower. Which is a little over 900 engine horsepower. It's 11 pounds of boost, 91 octane. You can see here, we've got the 132 millimeter throttle body. It's got carbon air intake tube, carbon air box. Got a massive intercooler in there, and this thing makes incredible power. And so this is a really fun application.
Okay, I don't want to make you work with this mic. So I'll go ahead and take it back from you.
No problem.
Who at night dreams up all this stuff for your company, man?
There's a whole team of us, So there's we got engineers, we got any worker that has a good idea we'll listen to. So we're always adapting. We're trying to stay ahead of the curve as much as possible, and we adapt consistently. We're never we don't build the same part always. What this kit was 4 years ago compared to what it is now is completely different. We have enhanced in every which way. The power is higher, reliability is better, everything. So we're constantly improving in every which way. And so it's a really advantage compared to some of the other companies that make one product and just try to sell it for the rest of their lives.
So in your R&D department, let's say one guy has a fantastic hard dream one night, and he wakes up the next morning, he was able to put it on paper. So when he approaches you with this idea, and you said, that's a bitching idea. How long does it take before that goes from paper to reality?
So it depends on the situation. Typically, if it's a good idea, then within a few weeks we will have it on a vehicle or on an engine or on a dyno or a blower dyno that we have, and we'll be testing it. So within a few weeks we can do that. To get it to production, it typically takes about 3 months in general. If it actually works during testing and it's somehow beneficial to the customer, then we go for it. But it takes about 3 months.
Let's go to the next one over here.
Okay. Yep.
We're going to go to the next 5 over here from Mr. Whipple Supercharger. And this is this the twin screw?
Yep, this is a twin screw. This is an all-new generation. So in 2018, Ford changed the engine design. So still a 5.0 Coyote, but they went from a port-injected system fulfilled to a direct injection and port injection. So normally the supercharger sat in the valley of the block because it's wide open in a Ford application. But now there's DI injectors in there and fuel rails, and the only way to get an intercooler in there, we had to really shrink it down compared to the last generation. So we didn't do that. So we said, let's go ahead and flip it upside down. And when we flip it upside down, we have room to put 3 intercoolers. This is actually a triple intercooler system in here, and it's got the water crossover there in the front. So that's a separate casting that distributes all the water. It's got huge fittings for water in and out. It's got massive air box. It's completely modular, so you can make it for, if you want to make 600 horsepower all the way up to 1200 horsepower, you can do it. So we got a 6-rib kit, 10-rib kit.
Wait. From 6 to 12? That's not on the fly though, right?
No, 6 to 10 on the belt system.
Oh.
So guys, if you go up higher and higher horsepower, you'll need a system to help with the accessories. And so this will make just any power basically you're going to need. So it can run on the 85, it can run on gas, it can run on anything pretty much you want. So it's made for racing as well as street. This kit is actually already 50 state legal. We're the first and only supercharged application to be 50 state legal for the F-150 and Mustang. So what you see here is legal. You can put it in California and go right to a smart station and you're good to go. Really? And yep, it's one thing because we're in California, we really base most of our product on being emissions legal. And so we do that on almost every application, and so this is emissions legal.
These rascals make it tough on us, don't they?
They do, yeah. It's a necessary evil though nowadays, and so we gotta play fair with everyone, and so that's what we do. So we're working on everything. We have the niche of trying to make as much power as possible in that window of being legal, being reliable, and being at a good price point. So that's what we do really well. We can beat most people's prices. We can make it install friendly, and we can make a ton of power.
What I'm happy about, Mr. Whipple, is this: you guys are feeding American guys. You know, some of the guys have gone overseas. Yes. Okay, and it's hard as hell sometimes with all the restrictions. Our management and the rest of these guys come up and their little think tanks in Washington to try to screw us out of business. But yet, you're here and you're working and you're designing for the American public and for the world. American guys in Fresno, California. That's right. I got to take my hat off to you, man. And I'll give you props. Now, props, when they say props, that's the urban colloquialism. Okay? So they say, man, you guys got the job. And I really appreciate you feeding our guys here. Coming up with a great product that you can show the world. Yes, that's American made.
Yep, we got a great team there. Yep. Yeah, we got a great team. You know, we got 50 plus workers there out all times. Although they don't always show up on the days they're supposed to, but you know that's our generation now. But they're great guys. You know, very valuable people there.
Well, at least you won't go to robots, man.
Definitely not.
The robots are on time. They don't call in sick, but nevertheless,
that's right.
It's a hard hustle, man. But you're dancing, and you're doing the tune as an American and as a California company. You're doing the tune and doing exactly what should be done.
Yep, it's an American dream, right? We started in a small pop shop. Julie's a good person. And he kind of started this as a hobby. The hobby became a business. We never thought it would actually build this big. I can't complain because I learned a lot. My generation, we tried to take it, bigger than what he had originally ever planned, and we've really expanded. 15 years ago we were a 10-man shop. Now we're at 55. We got 10 CNC machines. We got we're adding on right now in one of our buildings to just continue to expand. We've got new kits coming out for the new Corvette for a bunch of more applications. So we're just continuing to expand.
You got any openings for guys that are just got out of school, like UTI or something like that?
We do. Yeah, we're always looking for good mechanics as well as engineers and sales staff. Yeah, we always have openings. We actually work a lot of overtime. We work our tails off. And we're always looking. We always have placement for qualified candidates.
No, you said something earlier. You said you guys been in business for 30 years. I'm older than you are, man. So that would mean that your dad started the company.
He did. Yeah, he did. It started in 1987. At the time it was a hobby. In 1988 is when it really became a full-fledged, actually supercharger company, although we didn't sell many at that time. And so in 94, when I got out of school, then I started working full-time and tried to help take it to a different level. Over the last 15 years, that's expanded consistently. So
hold on, man. Let me just.
For his life, I just loved, and so I definitely. Probably could have been a little easiar if I went and became a lawyer or something else. But that's
who wants to be a stinking lawyer,
exactly.
Man? When you can have fun doing this, come on, dude.
Yeah. I live a dream. I get to work with my dad every day. I get
He's still working?
He still works every day. He's there today while I'm here working. So so we both work. It's been a great relationship. In the end, when you're younger, you don't necessarily appreciate all that, but as you get older, you really appreciate this time, invaluable time. So it's been actually truly an American dream. You start business and working with my family for the long haul. 30 years, it's insane.
Dude, that is
in comparison to some of the startups nowadays, and all we've done has gone up. We haven't we've got a few down years here and there, but when the economy was down, but we still made it through, and now we're bigger and stronger than ever before.
That is it. You know what they say? an American success story.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
I thought it'd be a higher number.
Excuse me. In the garage, Dad started it.
Yep.
Son got it, took it to a different level.
Yep.
Dad is there in the shop.
Yep.
65, maybe 70 years old.
Yeah, 79.
Okay, yeah. And still doing his thing with you. He has to be just blown out happy that the son has stepped up and taken his place.
Definitely, yeah, no question. Yeah, he's definitely very happy. You know, so we have our little days sometimes when I approve bills that maybe he can approve of. You know, but you know, that's just that's the family way. But we go on and we do really well. So it's been really good. Yeah, he works every day. He has nothing else to do. He wants to work every day, so he's there.
That's a blessing, brother. You know that, right?
Oh, very much. Yeah.
Okay.
So I learned my dedication, from my dad and from my mom, and it's definitely, it's paid off because it's the same thing. I work 67 hours. Thank God my girlfriend and kid, he can stand me because that's just part of the business. But that's how we succeed. You can't succeed just sitting at home and doing nothing.
And kicking the dog, right?
That's right. Exactly.
Well, you know what, man? It takes. I've been in business for 30 years, and it takes a strong woman to be the backbone of a strong man.
It does, no question.
And I know your parents got to be the same way.
100%.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
Definitely.
Whenever we are up in the Fresno area with a crew, maybe going from here to there, I would love to stop
we'd love to have you. Yeah.
and shoot some stuff for my TV show.
Yeah, we'd love to do that.
Okay.
Definitely.
Give us your website.
Yep, it's just www.whipplesuperchargers.com.
Okay. Now tell the American public why you're the best.
Without being mean, we make quality product that is, we feel, very high standard in comparison to some of the others. We take great pride in what we do with all the billet accessories and all the hoses, like I said, are covered. So we make it look like OEM, but at the same time much sexier. So we do that. The reliability we do, the durability testing that we do is second to none, really. So I just feel that the package that we can give you for the same price, totally speaking, it's just can't be compared to the others.
You know what, folks? He said something. He said, without flinch, he said we're second to none. Okay, and that says a whole lot for an American-made company who started in the garage, who are feeding 50 Americans in Fresno, California. You got to take your hat off to this guy. You got to take your hat off to his mom and dad and him, because look at what he has done. And this is the American success story. So if you guys are ever in the Fresno area, you got to stop by his shop and say hello. Or if you're at the SEMA show, hey, I know he's there.
Always.
Stop at the booth and say, hey, I saw him on Gotcha Racing Live, Gotcha Racing TV. So, without further ado, I want to thank you very much, sir, because you didn't have to give me a dime. You didn't have to give me anything for this interview, but you gave me your time.
Yep. No,
you gave me your time.
Giving us your time.
Thank you, sir. All right, so this is Joe Britt signing off. We're going to walk around and do what we do best, and let's talk to people and show some of the great products here in Buena Park. Joe Britt, Gotcha Racing Live, Gotcha Racing TV. We're out of here. Talk to you later.
Hello, folks. Come get it. Oh, come on. No. Over here. Give me my mic. No, I took the mic. See, okay. That's why you just don't invite people to grab the mic. All right, Joe, how we doing? We're on? What we got? You only said a minute ago. Okay, folks. Hey, this is Joe Britt, and of course, we're back after a 14-minute video break, and I'm here. We're still at the convention for the DIMS executive for the state party, and I have a young man here, lawyer by the name of Mr. Call him Mr. How you doing, dude? I am very good. Good to see you. Good to be down here. It's right there. What do you think about our explosion of the blue wave? I think it is an indication of, frankly, the dislike, and I don't even know if that is the right word, but the dislike of what's been going on across our country, coming from Washington, coming from our president, and frankly, people don't like it. They don't want to put up with it, and they're looking for alternatives that give them hope, alternatives that are positive,
alternatives that they can believe in, and frankly, alternatives that don't divide us along racial lines, along economic lines, along geographical lines, and frankly, any other line that you can use to pit people against other people for personal political gain. I think it's people saying, enough. This is not the direction that we want our country to go in. This is not the, and it's not the direction we want our state to go in. It's not our local community. I think that's what it is. I think people are saying, I'm tired, and they went and they showed it in voting.
You know, he said before that he could get on 45, we're talking about, could get on in New York City, on the major streets in New York City, and shoot somebody and get away with it. You know? And I'm wondering, how the heck can his supporters keep backing him no matter what? I don't understand it. I really don't understand that. Can you give me some insight? Maybe you might understand it. I don't know. Is it Trump punch? Or what? I mean, is it something that he's giving in the water to give it to them? I don't understand it, man.
Well, I'm not one of his supporters by any means, so I can't speak for them. But what I can say is there is an element in our country, and there is an element of racism in our country that never went away. That element went underground. Okay? It went underground. And it was there the entire time. When the 60s came about, when we started to pass civil rights legislation, it never went away. The feeling that people have, some people have about other folks in their hearts, that never went away. It went underground. Okay? And as society advanced, whatever you want to call it, and people became more politically correct, right? That doesn't necessarily mean folks changed the way they feel. Now, a lot of folks did. Okay, a lot of folks saw the light, and a lot of folks changed truly in their hearts, but a lot didn't. And so what has happened, unfortunately, with our president, is he has resurrected something that was underground. So we are talking about trying to understand why folks are acting the way that they're acting, some folks anyway. But what we need to realize is it's not new. Donald Trump didn't invent this. You look at it like ashes, fire. You still have some embers smoldering, right? And all you need to do is fan it, and it fire rears up again. And that is what has happened across our country. There's a smoldering embers waiting for wind, and that wind to ignite, to spark a fire.
And as the promoter that he is, it's ideal. Because he's a good promoter. And not a good businessman, but a good promoter. So, I understand exactly what you just said, and it makes perfect sense, man. So, in this day and age of Trumpism, how do we, as people, Americans, fight that?
You fight it the same way. Maybe the tactics are a little bit different, but the principles are the same. You fight it the same way people fought it in the past. You have to speak the truth. So when you're in a situation and people are speaking hatred, they're speaking anger, they're speaking division, they're speaking all of these things that have hurt and divided and separated us in the past. You have to speak truth. Now, speaking truth is not always PC. And there's a way to say things and to be respectful still. We have to tell the truth. We have to tell the truth. We have to call things out. We have to hold up mirrors sometimes and show people what they're doing. Let them hear what they're saying. And the only way to do that is to actually speak the truth, not to ignore things when wrong is happening, but to stand up, and be the clarion. And that's something that everybody can do, regardless of the situation. You don't have to be a lawyer or an elected official. You can be in your everyday, regular life, whatever that is, and there will be an opportunity that arises for you to speak the truth. That truth may be to one person, it may be to 100 people, but when the opportunity comes, each one of us has to take that opportunity, because when we don't, people get emboldened, and they feel like they can go even further, and people will push the envelope as far as you let them. And there has to be a check. And each one of us has to be willing to be the check. To say to somebody, that's not okay. You don't treat people like that. That's not what we do here. If you have to be that way, you need to, because we don't do that here. We look out for people. That's right. We love people. We protect our neighbors. That's what we do here. And we don't stand for the kind of hatred that you're pushing. We don't stand for the anger that you. Now, we can sit down and talk, but that's not what we do. Okay? And we have to have people who are willing to say it. Because that's what happened. When people were marching in the 60s, they were saying that's not what we do here. And we're willing to stand up and tell you that's not what we do here, and that's not what we're going to accept from you any longer. Right? And we have to have that same vigilance. Okay? We have to have that same level of seriousness and that same willingness and dedication to speak, to speak the truth.
So, as I said before, and not in this conversation, but two things. The truth will set you free, and we're not buying what you're selling.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good to be here. I'm sorry I took your mic. I got a little excited.
No one takes my mic, man. No one. But I got it back. But nevertheless, that's the way it is. I'll see you tonight. All right, take care. All right, folks. So that's how we do it here. Take care. That's how we do it here. We give everybody a minute of sunshine. You know what I mean? Everybody in a minute of sunshine. Let's see if we can put on one more video. Joe, do we have the time for that? Let's put on one more video. Okay, let's go ahead and load that rascal up. Roll that beam footage, why don't you, Joe? The 1200 pony. 1200 horse pony is in front of me, and the owner is right here, Charles. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, thanks. Great to see you, Joe.
Yeah. So tell me about this pony of yours.
Well, this car actually has a lot of history. It's a 1992 Ford Mustang. I bought it new, 1992. It's 2018 now, so it's getting a little old, but it's been a constant project where we've updated everything about the car, everything from the engine to the suspension to the chassis to the brakes, you name it, it's been done. And it's an incredible, badass street machine.
Now, you know what? I did ask you, Charles. You have a shop, but you said no. You said you're doing it in the garage. So you want to get some Frankenstein inside of you or what?
No, I'm an attorney by trade. That's what I do during the day. And we do this in our garage at our house. We work on this. That's what my friends and I do.
You got some good friends, man. We just getting beer and pizza? I won't say. But nevertheless, rumor has it, Charles, that this pony is pushing 12.
Yeah, it's doing just over 11 at the wheels, which is about 1,200 horsepower at the flywheel. It's a 408 stroker motor. It's got a 88 millimeter ball bearing Garrett turbocharger. We have methanol injection. We also have nitrous, which we haven't used on this combination. It's TFS high port heads, solid roller camshaft. But it's extremely treatable too. We drove up here from San Diego. No problems at all. Absolutely.
So she's not a trailer queen?
Oh, no. We drove up from San Diego. What is that? It's like good, what, 70, 75 miles from here probably?
No, it's a good hour and a half ride.
Yeah. Well, we got here a little quicker than that.
I bet you did, man. You didn't get any tickets on the way though, right?
Oh, no. We drive very responsibly.
Okay, so I'm going to turn it around. We're going to look at the motor and then take me on a tour of your motor, okay?
Absolutely, happy to do so.
All right, so folks, hold on. Then we're going to turn the screen around. Hold on. Okay, that doggone thing's in the way.
Okay, let's move that. Alrighty.
All right, read off with that, but you probably know everything by heart already.
Oh, yeah, I'll be happy to talk to you about the motor.
Okay.
So,
hold on. Let me switch here. All right, folks, here we go. This is 1,200 horses.
in a Mustang Fox body?
All right, what you're looking at, this is a 351 Windsor, stroked out to 408 cubic inches. It's a Riker Basin intake, solid roller camshaft, TFS high port heads, the Garrett ball bearing 88 millimeter turbo. It's in the fender. Can't really see it. This is the exhaust housing for it, and it goes through a.
Hold that. Oh, put it towards your mouth.
Let me hold it.
Yeah.
And all the power goes through a clutch. Holds the power. We have a twin disc McLeod clutch with a 6-speed manual transmission out on a modified rear end. Putting the tires, putting the power down. We have some Mickey Thompson tires in the back for traction. But what's really special about this car is the suspension and the chassis. It's set up. It's a full Griggs Racing setup, GT 40 setup. So it's got the Griggs frame rail kit, the World Challenge control arms, and all the bells and whistles, so that we're able to go ahead and apply that traction to the pavement. And as you see, if you want to put it back on the interior, we got a lot of custom stuff here in the interior. I mean, a custom Holley dash. We have all the gauges, so we can monitor all the engine vitals here. So all the oil, the fuel, the water, all the temperatures, all the sensors that we need, we can easily monitor while we're driving. The car does make 1,200 horsepower, so you need to be able to monitor the vitals as you drive it. You can change the power level on the fly. This is an electronic boost controller up here, so you can switch from 600 horsepower to 750 to 900 to 1,200 with the push of a button.
Dude, you have gone all out. I've seen a lot of Stings. We've been shooting SEMA for 17 years, and we've been out, and we've been about. I got to give you props on this, okay? That's urban colloquialism, okay? It means the car's cool, man, okay?
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. It's a lot of fun. We love it. And you know what? It's a great car still for driving because it's not overly loud like a lot of race cars. Because of the fact that it's turbocharged, it's still you can still drive it. You can have a conversation. But when you put the throttle down, it sounds like a jet engine taking off, and it's just a phenomenal, amazing experience every time.
So now, I take it you're just cruising with this on a weekly basis?
Well, we take it out sometimes on the weekends, but because of the Griggs suspension, this car is also made to take turns. So it just doesn't just go fast in a straight line. We have some big brakes on it. We have some racing pads, so this thing stops on a dime. So it'll accelerate, it'll stop, it'll turn. We do it all with this.
So you're ready for a canyon run?
We could. It's got a little bit too much power for a canyon run, but it sure is a lot of fun out there on the streets.
Well, let me tell you something. We have GoPro cameras, man. We would love to put on this route. So if you're going to do a button willow run or a canyon run, you know, you got to look us up. I'll send you my GoPros.
That's great. We already got one in the windshield right now.
Oh, okay. So I should say, so you know what time it is, right?
Yeah, we're having a good time, but it's great to see. I'm so glad you came out to take a look at the cars here. You know, this is something I'm super passionate about. You know, I've had this car for, I mean, gosh, what's it been now? Over 25 years. So it's really been it's just been a fun, passionate journey, and you know, the car's ever evolving. It's super reliable, no issues coming up here, and I mean 1,200 horsepower is nothing to sneeze at.
You know, folks, this guy had just renewed my feelings for my pony. My Fox body is the same body style Fox body as this one here, and I was really considering in selling it, really, until I fell in this guy's view.
Well, I got to give a shout out, Brian. Got to give a shout out. Come here.
Really nice.
Quick shout out. All right. This is Brian King, owner of Runamuck Racing.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
One of my very best friends. He's done most of the work on this car. He knows this car inside and out as well. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears. We've known each other for 23 years now.
Yeah, about 23 years.
About 23 years, and he's got another Fox body like this too. And we have fun together doing this.
Okay, so you're the Frankenstein behind this then, huh?
Yeah, I'm the wrench turner over here. Anytime there's a problem. Hey, Brian.
So who do you call?
Call Runamuck Racing.
I'm better than Ghostbusters. Better than Ghostbusters.
It's really nice, man. Your work is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm quite sure my viewers on 106.5, 102.3, and 1050 AM, and then all over the world streaming, will really appreciate looking at this and your masterwork. Thank you very much.
Blood, sweat, and tears. Gotta love it.
Good enough. So, you have an Instagram somewhere? They can see this?
Afraid not. Sorry, Joe.
Really?
Yeah, believe it or not.
You're not posting this rascal anywhere?
No, we don't have that. This car is actually on the internet.
Okay, folks, and that's how we do it here. You know, today is convention weekend for me, and I'm out in Long Beach, California, and we had to put the show on live. You know, one monkey don't stop a show. But nevertheless, I appreciate you guys tuning in to Gotcha Racing TV, Gotcha Racing Live, and we try to give you the updates on what's going on in the racing community and the best interviews that we have taken over the season. Hey, this is Joe Britt coming to you live, coming to you correct, and coming to you clear from the desert to the sea, broadcasting on 106.5 FM, 102.3 FM, and then old dog you won't die, 1050 AM. Folks, have a good week. Talk to you soon, and hear from me next Saturday. Take care, folks.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
Your NBC Sports Radio update starts now.